What's up, guys? It's me, Dante Diaz, aka Coach Diaz, here on Instagram and here on YouTube. Come check me out, shoot me a DM for nutritional advice and for training. All for 3 months, 6 months, and 1 month training programs. And when it comes down to nutritional advice, well, I kind of know the ins and outs, only for the sole fact that I've been there. I know what it's like to overeat. I know what it's like to undereat. I know what it could do to your metabolism. This is the story of how I became a fitness professional. See, a while back, I was 260 pounds. And when I was 260 pounds, I wasn't the happiest. It's a deep story at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, I was a miserable person and I was making others around me miserable. I decided to take upon myself to lose weight in order for the better of my health, the better of my mental health, and just in general, quite a few other things. But I'm not saying that weight loss is going to be granted, you're going to be the happiest you ever been, but it could help. It could make you a better person at the end of the day if you were to take up fitness and health. So what's my story? Me, 260 to 180, 180 to 230. But why is the weight fluctuation so dramatic? Well, granted, it's because I've been there. When I was 260, I dropped down to 180, and I did it through methods that weren't so conventional. I did it through eating one meal a day. I did it through over exercise. You can possibly say I shot my metabolism down. So I know what it's like to have an unhealthy relationship with fitness, to have an unhealthy relationship with food. I've been there. And I learned my mistakes. And now, over the process of a few years, I have ramped up my metabolism to back to where I was to when I was a little bit less than 260, give or take. But I'm less than 260. I'm 230 some change. 235 on the bad day. But that's not the point. The point is that when I was 180 pounds at only 5'6", 5'7", give or take, my metabolism was to the point where if I was to eat a burger, I would be in a caloric surplus. And this is because with the process of eating one meal a day, with the process of one meal plus over cardio, I'm burning, give or take, 3,000 calories, consuming only 1,600 at tops. You could say that my body was like, well, you only need 1,600, right? So here's 1,600 and you're good to go. And I'm like, this is not life. This is not where I want to be. I'm weaker than I was back in high school. I'm weaker than when I was. I'm skinnier, but granted, that's cool. But skinniness doesn't necessarily lead up to happiness. What does lead up to true happiness is finding a well balance in between. People that I watch on YouTube, I'm gonna just throw a few names out there because I'm a well-rounded person. Coach Greg, IVB Pro Greg Doucette. He definitely, I would say in my opinion, put me on the right path as far as you could say relationship with food. Now, if you do watch his videos, the one argument you could probably make is, all he talks about is eating junk food. And when I say junk food, I mean, artificial sweeteners, diet soda, pretty much not real food, and things that can, in other people's perspective, destroy your gut bacteria and lead up to cancer. And if that's your opinion, I respect it. At the end of the day, I'd rather be able to control my diet than sitting here stressing over what this could possibly, not guaranteed, but possibly. Each diet and each lifestyle has its own ups and downs. You want to live this special gut bacteria friendly diet? Well, that's going to cost you a little bit of money. You want to live the simple man diet? Well, it's going to be relatively cheap, but you're going to have higher calories. And where I live, you know, these health foods are a little bit on the pricier side. Granted, I don't buy junk food. Someone does, but that's not the point. I relatively keep my diet in a, as long as it's not in the house, it's okay. So if I'm gonna have chips, just not in the house. Walk to the store, go grab the chips, eat it on your way back, and throw it out if you ain't done. Cause at the end of the day, you know, and this is not a solution to whatever eating disorders you might have. But if you have control of the food in your house, then don't let it come to your house. You want your cake? Eat it at the restaurant. Don't take the cake home. Why eat it at the restaurant? Because if you eat it at the restaurant, then you're gonna end up either getting full because you overate the meal that they gave you, and you're not gonna eat the whole cake, or you're just gonna eat the whole cake and not eat your whole meal, or you're gonna have a good day at the restaurant and eat everything. But then you're going to be full by the time you get home. And you can add a little bit of self-control. It's hard. It's not easy. But if you just fight it. So if you ever have an urge to binge, and you know you having a shit day, then drink some water. And if you still have that urge after you drink some water and you're still, you know, still having that urge, then granted, take everything with a grain of salt, give in to your urge, but don't overdo it. Water is 0 calories. Water ain't gonna hurt you. It's just gonna expand your stomach. You might feel nauseous, but at the end of the day, that's your stomach telling you that you're full. So, back to the topic of Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette taught me voluminous foods with high amount of protein will keep you more satiated than, per se, you know, junk food, Chinese food, fast food, McDonald's. I also watch, you know, Obese to Beast, Michelle McDaniel. Pretty much, if you guys remember, a long time ago, they tried to make this thing called the Swovengers, and it was terrible. Why? Because of the fact that everyone has such a different view. There's this one dude, his name is Alan Roberts and Papa Swolio, and each one of them has a different take onto the definition of health. That if you were to take a little bit of everything, you'll be right, but if you're to take everything of one, you'll be wrong. So what does this mean? Well, we'll start with the most simple one. Alan Roberts, very aggressive, but at the end of the day, he does put you in the right mindset, you know. And Alan Roberts and Papa Swolio have the same type of aggressiveness, where you need to be in this type of mindset in order to, you know, pursue fitness and pursue health. Because at the end of the day, being obese is not good. And you can argue that it, for days, if you want, that it is good. At the end of the day, we all know you're suffering. We're suffering. And even if you feel like you're not, it'll catch up to you. So, for anybody that is looking for a little turnaround in life, I offer nutrition advice. I offer training. Come check me out. Shoot me a DM. I'm more than willing to help meet you where you are, because I've been there. I know what it's like. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Also, leave a comment. Who do you watch? Leave a comment inside the comment section. Who do you watch on YouTube? Who do you listen to on Instagram? Be careful with social media. That's another topic. If anything, it's another topic for another video. But yeah. So, the Swole Avengers, these guys, it was funny. And Michelle McDaniel, my thoughts would probably offend you. And the funniest part about her is that at the end of the day, her mindset is, as long as it don't bother me, it shouldn't bother you. You get what I'm saying? Or whatever you have to say doesn't bother me because it doesn't affect me. So she leaves. So Papa Swolio, Alan Roberts both leave you the mindset, and then Michelle McDaniel leaves you the path. Don't care what anybody says. Just do what you gotta do, and that's it. And then Obese, well, he's the nice one out of everybody. Obese was he was 400 pounds. I'm not gonna reiterate his story just because it might be personal, even though he shares it 1,000 times. I'm not gonna reiterate it and take things out of the words, out of context. But in my opinion, his weight loss is amazing. You know, the fact that he went from 300 to 400 pounds down to 200 pounds. He's a little bit tall, so you know he's gonna be in the higher 200s, give or take, in my opinion. But the only problem about Obese is that he's too soft, and he lets a lot of things just as you would say, be positive and be neutral. So at the end of the day, all these people, you take a little bit of the truth and you form your own truth with it, and let this be your guide. And if you can't, don't forget to shoot me a DM and I can help you out just as well. So taking all these people and combining their knowledge and their experience and their mindsets on how to approach health and fitness, I ended up getting a job at Planet Fitness. And funny enough is that I was the trainer, because I ended up learning, because I ended up loving fitness that much, to the point that I decided to help others learn it. And in my opinion, has been the greatest experience of my life as far as a starting job, entry level. But eventually I did get certified, and that entry level payment didn't go up. So now I decided to leave Planet Fitness and move on to Equinox. And with Equinox, they're paying me amazing, but it's a slow start. It is really slow, and I think anybody that you ask who's a personal trainer will always say that it's a little bit of a slow start. But once the water starts boiling, it will be amazing. So in the meantime, while I got a little bit extra free time, I'm making YouTube videos, I'm making Instagram videos to help promote my page and help outreach to my community of people who want to lose weight, of people who want to have a better health, and the definition of health to them, because my definition of health is not your definition of health, and that means that we might see things differently, but I'm more than willing to meet you in the middle, because at the end of the day, health and fitness and lasting a nice long life is really the most important. So if you are interested, guys, feel free to shoot me a comment. Shoot me a DM on Instagram here at health.fitness.Coach Diaz, and then we can set up something, a Zoom, and see how I can help you achieve your goals. If you have any questions, comments, or even subject matters you would like me to talk about, feel free to contact me here on YouTube. Just leave a drop down on the comments. Oh, I would like you to talk about the vegan diet. And I'm going to tell you right now, heads up, there's not going to be any studies and any science. Primarily, one, because I'm too lazy. But two, if you're really interested, you can a really good source for scientific materials. This guy named Biolanny, or I'm probably pronouncing it wrong with my New York accent, but at the end of the day, this guy's a genius. He reads things properly, and I like it. There's so much information on YouTube, but because everybody has their own derivatives and their own, I don't even know if I'm using the word right, but because everybody has their own like stories, the narratives, that's the word. Because everybody has their own narratives, you know, it makes things a little bit more difficult to, you know, filter out what's right, what's wrong, what has some truth, what has no truth. But at the end of the day, know that I'm here to help you guys. More than willing to help. Let's see what we can do.